What's up, DBs? Coach D Magic here, former D1 defensive back. We're here to break down Kyler Gordon's college tape and his NFL tape. Make sure you go to thedbnetwork.com to get over 100 drills so that you can master the DB position. And not just the cornerback position, but the nickel position as well. And we have safety tape in there as well. So, first thing I'm going to say is that I am from Tacoma, Washington, which is about 30-minute drive from University of Washington. So I'm very familiar with Kyler Gordon's game and his name. Trent McDuffie and he were on the same team. If you look at like all the DBs drafted from the University of Washington, they have a very good case to be top 5 in the DBU discussion. So, like I said, we're going to talk about him. But what I will say, guys, is that you need if you're a DB, if you're a corner and you're not 6 foot, you need to learn the nickel position because if you have aspirations to go into the NFL, man, they're putting all the sub 6 foot DBs in at nickel, and that's where he just got paid for the Chicago Bears. He is now the highest paid nickel DB in the NFL, okay? And so this is a 2-part video on one, how to play corner, specifically on third down, how to play field corner, specifically on third down, and then how to play nickel, because at nickel, you got to be able to tackle because you're basically a linebacker who can cover. So if you know anything about defenses, it used to be 4-3, right? 3 linebackers, will linebacker. Now it's basically 4-2-5, where now it's the nickel, but that nickel is still technically a linebacker. All right. So what can we learn from this? The best DBs are masters on third down. Okay. You have to know where the sticks are. So 3rd and 9, right? So in 3rd and 9, in theory, 3rd and 9, right, there's a high probability, and I don't have percentages, but there's a very high probability that on 3rd and long, they're going to run routes to the sticks, okay? Next, we are the field corner. If you just look at how much space to the inside versus how much space to the outside, right? So based on his split, probability says that we're going to get an inside route. The reason why you want to stick to this probability, okay, even though I do know that he just ran an out route, but I'm going to tell you why the probability of this being a good route good route from this hash is it goes against like basic football kind of 101 in my opinion. So we're to the field, we're inside leverage, we're to the sticks, so we're thinking in breaking routes, all right, the dig, the curl, possibly a post. He could run a slant. We got to tackle that. He could run a slant and go if you have bad eyes, so play high shoulder. So the reason why we don't want to think out breaking routes here is because look at how far the QB has to throw that ball, right? So the timing has to be correct. So that ball has to be out right now. It's already late. 2, he has to throw the ball from one hash all the way to the sideline, not just from hash to hash, not just from hash to numbers. That ball has to be outside and away. If it's short, this is what's going to happen. Now, this is a D1 quarterback. If you're watching this, you're probably in high school. How many high school players, how many high school quarterbacks, how many Pop Warner quarterbacks, 8th grade, even the best quarterbacks, right, can throw an out route from one hash, from the opposite hash, all the way to the sideline on the money? Not many. Maybe 5 in the whole country, okay? And I'm showing you right now a D1 quarterback who can't make that throw. So that's why that's not in our mind. Because if you throw that ball, that's probably the only outbreaking route you can throw. If you throw it, everything has to go right. The route has to be crisp. The ball has to be on time and it has to be outside and away. And it's neither of those things. All right. As far as the technique, okay, we're 7 yards, we're 1 yard inside. That's our off man. Okay. Now, on the snap, we get an inside stem. So the receiver's angling inside. He's stemming inside. We want to match that with a leverage step. I call it a leverage step or a weave. I don't want us to cross our feet. Okay, I don't like when we cross our feet. We should keep our feet apart. But it happens. Okay, we match the stem. And now we don't want to be in a fast pedal here because, again, what did I say in the beginning? We're playing the sticks. Okay, we kind of want to start to get in like a inch back technique here so that we can catch, play the curl, play the dig, high shoulder. And then, hey, he surprises us with an out route. All right, but notice how he breaks before the sticks. Okay, and he kind of rounds this cut. All right, so we have a clean break. He doesn't have the cleanest break. The ball is late. The ball should be out right now. So we've already closed space to the hip. All right, right when that ball leaves the quarterback's hand, so we can get our eyes up early. And even if this was outside and away, we still have a great chance because we can play the high shoulder and strip that arm down. But it's not. And we pick it off, okay? So in this situation, if you're to the field, okay, we're playing in-breaking routes, highest probability of in-breaking routes. If you get a stem, you want a leverage step. All right, you can inch back here, get ready to play catch, play the sticks. All right, we see the break early. But if you feel like if something is telling you, man, he's moving fast, he's really striding out of there, get in your back pedal. Good job playing on 3rd and 9. Like I said, the best DBs, this is where you get your interceptions because there's a lot more that we can use to our advantage on 3rd down. The best DBs, the best defenses make plays on 3rd down. Now, all right, you get to the NFL or you get to college, and let's say, for instance, in my situation, right, I was in a cornerback battle, like a second team cornerback battle with this guy, and the first team somebody got hurt and he got called up to play at nickel. So I'm assuming the nickel got hurt because he had already kind of flirted with the nickel position in high school, flirted with the safety position, so they knew he could tackle. So long story short, right, he got on the field before me, and we were in a cornerback battle because he knew nickel. So that could be you. And then also, hey, if you want to get on the field, no more positions. So as a nickel, I'm gonna make this short, okay? When you have 4 down linemen, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, the gaps that are gonna be open are the A's and the B gaps, okay? Why? Because usually we're just talking about this side right here because we have a detached number 2. Usually you're gonna have an end who's rushing outside of the tackle, okay? And then you're going to have a nose tackle who's either going to be in the B gap or the A gap. He's in the A gap, okay? And if you look over here, we got the nose tackle who's in the B gap. And then we have an end who's rushing outside of the C gap here. So right now, A, B. So right now, because we have an extra lineman here, the C's open, all right? Or actually tight end, the C's open. But for you, right, when you have a detached number 2, it's pretty much going to look like this with the running back away. Your open gaps are going to be that B gap. So you notice how the offensive line double teams this nose tackle, and then they work up to the linebacker to create a crease. All right, so if we're not ready to close here, that's going to be a big game. So what is he looking at? Okay, we got the running back away. We should be anticipating zone scheme our way. Okay, that's basically how it goes. Zone scheme our way. We know we're a B gap player. Okay, if we have a tight end, we'd probably be a C gap player, but we're a B gap player here. So once we read this tackle, okay, and he blocks down, he basically goes at the defensive end. He's not going backwards in a pass rush. He's going at the defensive end. That tells us run. So now we can be ahead of the game here. We know which gap we're going to be in. We're keying the end to running back quarterback mesh, or the tight end, the tackle to quarterback running back mesh. running backs away. So we see that zone scheme is probably going to come our way. Now, once we see all that happening, quick shuffle, we see the ball handed off, and now it's just, hey, see it, believe it, go get it. All right, now we get a TFL. He makes it look easy, and you guys can make these plays, guys, because this is gonna be you. Nickel, you got number 2. You're on the slot most of the time. Spread offenses, you're not gonna have a tight end. It's gonna be center, guard, tackle. We get the running back away. Okay, zone scheme our way. We get run blocks. We see the ball being ran. Boom. We get here. Okay. Now I will say that the receiver being close, brings us closer to the ball. Some coaches don't want you in the run fit at all. Like if you're playing like quarters or something, they want you kind of out of the run fit. But it really just depends, guys. Even if you're not in the run fit and you can kind of understand it's 2nd and 10, okay, like they might pass it, but the tendency when they have 2 tight ends is to run the ball. Okay, then they're trying to get 5 yards so they can make a manageable 3rd and whatever. So I hope that made sense, guys. Kyler Gordon just got paid, highest paid nickel. He was an elite cornerback in college. So knowing simple stuff like your run fits will help you get on the field. I feel like the passing stuff is easy. Reroute number 2, curl flat. Like, I feel like that stuff's easy, but being able to make plays in the run is what's going to get you on the field. All right, so I hope you guys learned something. Make sure you go to thedbnetwork.com to get our DB Mastery program, which will make you an elite DB, I promise.